We had a magnitude 3.8 earthquake here off the coast of Maine today. And this was initially when it happened at 10:22 this morning. The preliminary seismograph showed that it was a 4.1. Then it went to 3.9, 3.8. So I think that's officially what it will be at. But this happened about 10 kilometers southeast of York Harbor. So that's about 6-7 miles to the southeast off the coast. And I mean, on the west coast where they have the ring of fire, a lot of times people are concerned about tsunamis and stuff like that. That's because on the west coast off of Oregon, you have a subduction zone. And so earthquakes off the west coast can actually cause tsunamis. But these are just tiny little tremors that they don't really subduct under the sea floor. So that's why you don't really get tsunamis from these types of earthquakes. How rare are earthquakes in this part of the country? Well, they happen about once every 5 years. So they actually happen more often than you think. And this actually happened off of the Norumbega fault line just off the coast of New England. Here's a look right now at the map, and this is the shake map. And you can see here, these are reports of where it was felt. And I mean, we've had reports of shaking. Look at this around the Boston area, up the coast of Maine, as far as 100 miles away from where the epicenter was. We actually had quite a bit of reports of that shaking earlier today. And as we go ahead and take a look at this here, here's a look at the actual map, and you can see that this was, like I said, about 6-7 miles off the coast. The last time that this happened was actually about 5 years ago. There's a magnitude 3.6 off of New Bedford, Massachusetts. So again, these do happen. And you know what's interesting is that earthquakes that happen on the East Coast typically are a lot weaker. But here's the interesting thing. These earthquakes are felt much further away. Why is that? Because the bedrock on the East Coast is a lot different than on the West Coast. On the West Coast, they get more intense earthquakes, but they're not felt quite as far. Whereas a weak earthquake in, say, Maine or Massachusetts will be felt for hundreds of miles because of the changes in the bedrock. It's more compacted. So let's go ahead right now and take a look here at some of these maps. And then as we look at the intensity versus distance, I like this map right here. So 100 kilometers is about 60 to 65 miles or so. And so, generally speaking, folks felt it pretty far away from where the epicenter was out there today. So, yeah, these earthquakes definitely can happen. Typically, they're weak, but just to kind of reiterate, they can be felt quite a bit further away on the East Coast compared to the West Coast.